We gather in the cosmos bright. Stars and ships take flight tonight. In the void where dreams do play. Soul citizens lead the way. Borders fade in nebula's light. Unknown worlds will chart tonight. Through the galaxy we soar. Endless journeys at our core. Borders fade in nebula's light. Unknown worlds will chart tonight. Through the galaxy we soar. Endless journeys at our core. Starry roads in endless skies. Soul citizens we rise. Charting courses never lost. Together the verses crossed. Squadrons call on the horizon. Battles fought, our hearts aren't frightened. In our ships we face the dawn. Soul citizens carry on. Oh, planets spin and light years fly. Boundless space where hopes reside. Motherhood in every star. Soul citizens, here we are. Borders fade in nebula's light. Unknown worlds will chart tonight. Through the galaxy we soar. Endless journeys at our core. Starry roads in endless skies. Soul citizens we rise. Charting courses never lost. Together the verses crossed.
Hey, greetings, and welcome back to Soul Citizens. I'm GriffinGamingRPG. Today is Sunday, May the 18th, and we're back with a full crew to have a great conversation with you about Flair and Rare. And joining me today is my other co-hosts. Let me start. I'm going to start off at the far end there. I'm not going to start with that guy who's got his finger up. Looks like I don't know if he's brushing his mustache or what, but I'm going to start at the other end. yoyoMeg, how are you?
I'm doing pretty great.
Good. Hang on, let me see. They're going to tell me the volume is off. Talk for me, Meg. Let me check.
Check. 1 2 1 2.
How's Meg sound, you all? Meg sounding good? Hey, I feel good. All right. One more time, Meg.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Okay, there we go. I think Meg's coming through. Okay. It is good to see you. How you been?
Doing pretty good. Enjoying SC.
Yeah, you taking in Invictus and everything. This is like how many? This is your 4th year, right? Are you 4 years in now?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. You were just a baby. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're a
They
veteran.
go up so fast. They go up so fast.
She's a veteran now. She's a vet. She is a vet now. That's amazing. Well, great. Next up, say SeriousFun. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm not as good as Meg, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I am excited about this topic because our notes tell me how much I have missed out on.
Okay.
I'm like, what the heck? I've been around this whole time, don't even know about all this stuff. So I'm very excited to talk about it.
Okay, awesome.
This barely half.
Yeah, really. And last but not least, the one and the only Fastcart FC. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm not stroking my mustache. This is me trying to look intelligent.
Is that what it is?
Well.
You're supposed to put it under your chin. You got to go under your chin like this or something.
Yeah.
You got to.
I don't know. This
is
not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
Fair enough. Well, it's good to see you guys here with me and also to see everyone in chat. Thank you all for being here today. We really, really appreciate you as we're getting through the month of May, which is almost over. Just one more week and we're going to be going into June. So we do have a great conversation today. We did something like this a little while back about Flair, but we didn't go into it the way we're going to do it today. What we're going to be focusing on today is why possibly, this isn't completely 100% sure, but based on reading the tea leaves, why certain types of flair may be important in the Star Citizen universe. And we're going to be sharing some items with you all that you obviously have seen before on the RSI store. You may have seen them in the subscriber store or the regular store. And then there may be some things that maybe you've just heard about or someone else has and they've told you about. And then there are going to be some things that are going to be like a little bit even more rare than that CIG has done over the years. And then we're going to try and tie all this in as to where we think the direction is for these items. A lot of times people call them cosmetics. And quite often things are cosmetic in a game. But sometimes cosmetics have functionality to them. And so we're going to be kind of showing you guys a little bit about that today. So let's hit this very first thing here. I think I messed up and didn't put this photo in. So, well, you know what? No, I didn't mess up. Let's go ahead and talk about one of the earliest pieces of flair that we've had in the game. Let me go ahead and change here. Give me 1 second here, because we have a lot of items to look at today, folks. So let's change to this, change to that, and let's turn this off. Okay. And some of you have seen this item before. And I'm going to start with Meg, since Meg is kind of our person who wasn't around back in the day, and see what maybe she knows about some of these items. And then we're going to talk about them a little bit. So this is the very first one. Meg, let me ask you, I'm not worried about do you know what it is as much as I'm curious about, have you ever seen it before?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, cool. Serious.
That's all right, Meg. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff here where the three guys with beards are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, right." Don't take it personal.
He's calling us old. He's calling us old.
Just old.
That trip will call us old.
Hey, at least he's including himself in that.
This is true.
So I'm
this
okay
is
with
true.
it.
This is true. All right, Sirius, I'm gonna go to you then. Do you remember what this is?
I did not remember what this is. I found out in the notes, but I do think, if I remember correctly, I think I have seen this at our favorite Band News location.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember whether I have it, but I think I've seen it at our favorite Band News location.
Okay. FC, what about you?
I have it. I own it. If you were to show me a picture of it, I may not have been able to name it. But if you show me the name of it, I would have said, "Oh, I would have immediately known what it was."
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my. Yeah, I have it in my hangar.
Okay, cool. Well, let me got some shout outs real quick to both Gladestone and GoMob. Thank you guys so much for the subs. Really appreciate that. Gladestone for 37 months and GoMob for 53 months. So thank you all. Thank you all for that very much. Yeah, this is one of those items back in the day. Let's go back a little bit here. Back in the day, we used to decorate our hangars. Like we're starting to do it now. But back in the day, we used to like totally trick out our hangars with a lot of stuff that we had in the game. And these items that we're going over now are part of what they call the Puglisi collection. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is one of those items in there. This particular item is the Camposi Magnus, and it's called the skull. This is a skull. It's actually a creature. And it says that this was a tusked aquatic animal that inhabited Campos on Ellis-4 until roughly 500,000 SEY ago. Camposi was an omnivorous apex predator with a dense, solid, compact skeleton adapted for the high-gravity, high-pressure environment of Campos' deep oceans. Though the exact cause of its extinction is unknown, it is hypothesized from fossil records that the underwater volcanic eruption may have triggered the extinction event that disrupted the Camposi's food chain. The Governor's Council of Ellis-4 chose to name this planet Campos after the Camposi Magnus upon receiving recognition of the UEE Senate in 2562. 62? Yes, 62. So basically, this was a big underwater apex predator. And these things are pretty large.
Remember
fastcart, these cases
I was going to
are
say, it's like
pretty big.
It comes up to about your chin almost, I want to say, when you put it in your hangar.
And they're also, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're animated. I think, don't they turn inside? I thought
they
were
up and down. They float up and down in the water. I want to say.
Are you sure? Okay. I say
well,
turn.
it's been a
Fast Card
while.
says float. I don't know which one it is, but
It's float, yeah.
maybe some do. Maybe one does that and
Well,
one
maybe
does the
both.
other. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember, but I do think they're animated in some form. They're not just static, if I'm remembering correctly.
Right,
So
they're not static.
yeah, yep. So anyway, this is one of the items here. Let's take a look at another one as a part of the Puglisi collection here. Sirius, would you mind taking that one on for me? Let me ask this again. Have you guys,
Sure.
Meg, Sirius, have you guys seen this one before? Because I know Fast Card's seen it. You guys haven't seen this one either?
I have seen this one.
This one you have seen? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and fill us in.
Yeah, this is the AV8 battle armor replica.
Mhm.
A juggernaut on the battlefield, the AV8 Resilient Series battle armor from Aero Future Tech set the standard for future generations of personal armor technology. Developed exclusively for UEE Marine shock troops for the siege of Tiber, the AV8 offered maximum protection from ballistic and energy weapons and introduced the revolutionary new inline biomed system, capable of recognizing any injury sustained by the operative and relaying the information back to superiors and squad mates. The proof was in the field. More troopers and AV8s came back from combat than any other armor set. So the stuff we take for granted now in terms of our armor and our systems telling us things about our injuries, this began with this armor set.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting to see. I know CIG has already talked about implementing certain technologies. We've already heard them talk about the helmets, and they've also talked about doing some things with armor. I'm really curious to see how much of this stuff just kind of stays lore as a base, and then how much stuff actually gets implemented. Meg, have you thought about that? Like, are you into the whole thing that CIG came up with this year, where they're talking about, certain helmets have certain things in them, certain capabilities? Are you kind of thinking that's going to be cool, or you think it's going to be, it's going to be kind of overwhelming because we got a lot of armor and stuff and helmets in the game?
No, I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they talked about like one for, I just think scanning in general. I think if you don't want it to be overwhelming, then there could be helmets just for that. Like they're just basic helmets, and then, just depending on what you're wearing is the things that you get with that helmet. Yeah, I think it'll be great. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Okay. Okay.
I think it'll be
The pros and
interesting
cons
if
of
they.
armor.
Good FC.
I think it'll be interesting if they actually implemented the a squad leader being able to keep track of everyone's health.
Oh wow.
In the game, I mean, maybe they could do it somehow, but yeah.
I mean,
I like the aspect from the lower piece.
Yeah, things like that are what I consider too. I don't know if this is like kind of what you're thinking, but with like the med gun, you're able to see people's injuries, like it highlights their arms. It'd be nice to get a medical helmet where you can see that, like you can see people's like health, just like you're kind of saying. Instead of it being like static across your screen, it's like you have to either go to them or maybe there's like a range to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're so used to other MMOs having your MP bar and your HP bar on when you're in the raid, it comes up on your top left or whatever. Some implementation of that would be handy and probably should have said, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, again, this is a good example of things that we could see where CIG could develop them into actual gameplay, and then this may be just something that sits in a museum case, in the end when it's all said and done. But you can kind of see they were thinking about this, and this is like one of the earliest pieces, Fastcart, that I remember, like way back when.
For Flair, yeah.
Yeah, these Puglisi pieces, they go back a long, long way here. Here's another one. Fastcart, would you mind reading that one for the planet artifact?
Yeah. Okay. Planet artifact. For this artifact, the Puglisi collection is proud to present a sample of the former planet Ellis 11. Sorry, Ellis XI. That's what it was 11. After a rogue asteroid knocked Ellis 11 moon into a decaying orbit, the scientific community watched with bated breath to see the inevitable impact. Finally, on 2943, June 6th, the impact occurred. Each artifact has been cleaned and verified by the Imperial Geological Society and features and comes with a data file outlining a particular makeup of your specific sample. Own your piece of history today.
Okay.
Now, what's cool about this? Sorry, go ahead, Fastcart. Go ahead.
I was going to say I own all of the Puglisi collection, so yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what's cool about this is, and Jade Starwatcher would I think amplify this point. But when we're talking astronomy, astronomical time is massive. So for human beings to be around to see a moon fall into a planet and destroy both and have both of them begin to form a new asteroid belt. Like we either see planets or we see asteroid belts. We don't see one become the other, right? And so from a lore standpoint, I think this is among the coolest pieces because they watched it go down, right? And then snatched some items for posterity. So yeah, that's a very cool item.
That's cool.
One of the things I was going to mention about this picture, if you look at it closely, this was at least 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. But those crystals are the exact same thing we see now with minables. So this is how those are. There are certain things that they put into the game that later we see it manifest, right? And then there are some things that don't. And the question is, a lot of these items that we're seeing, will they manifest themselves in some way? Or do they just become something cosmetic to put into the game? This, though, we do see that the structure of how those crystals are in that rock, when you do hand minables and things like that, you do see that exact same structure. Even the shape of the crystals there, in some cases, we see the same type of thing. So it's an interesting carryover.
I'm looking at my hanger right now. I got mine in May of 2015, so that's that's about it.
It's been 10 years, at least 10 years.
Yeah. So there are a couple of things that came out before this, but yeah, the Space Globe. I don't know if you remember those.
Yep, this is an old one. Okay. All right, and then this is our final piece from the Puglisi collection, and this is the Vandal Scythe armor. It's that the Puglisi collection is excited to announce the second in their line of artifacts, a piece of armor plating off of a Vandal Scythe. Following the discovery of X-12, the Vandal carrier ship found dead in space off of Garonne, the UEE sold most of the Scythe fleet found aboard. We have come into possession of one of those scythes and are looking to share this history with you. Everyone in the UEE is familiar with the scythe's iconic image, but few have seen it in person. Now you can own a piece of one. Each expertly crafted piece of plating is unique in design, so get yours now and own a piece of history today. If I'm not mistaken, FC, if you would take a look, I don't know if these are still available on the store. I don't know if these are still sold.
I'm not a subscriber at the moment, so I couldn't.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Subscriber, yeah. So
all right. All right. Can either of you guys take a look? Could you look? I can't remember whether or not this is something that is still available. But there are some people who will not care about these items, and then there are other people who are completionists and maniacs like myself who will probably say, "Ooh, where can I get one?" Right?
It is available on the store for $5 US.
Okay, so that price has not changed. Okay.
No.
And rightfully so. Okay.
In the subscriber store, just to be
in the
clear.
subscriber store. Thank you. Okay. All right, let's go to our next item.
And this would have to be Vandal Scythe Mark I, though, right? Because the scythe itself and Vandal ships have evolved.
That's true.
Since then, so
very true.
They wouldn't change that for the Flair.
Yeah.
No, they would just say that's the original before they started. The Vandal updated their own ships or whatever, right?
Okay. All right, let's take a look at this item here. This is something, Meg, I know you weren't around back when this came out. Serious, were you around when this came out?
I was around when all this came out, but apparently I just got into my ship in the hangar module and got out, and y'all got stuff. So I don't know what I was missing.
Okay,
but yeah,
FC, I know you were around back at this time.
I don't have this one. I have the ones after.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the $100 million reward 2944 war bond. Now, what happened was CIG used to mark off whenever they would hit certain, achievements or milestones in the donations. And when they hit the 100 million mark, this became a commemorative item that went out to the players. It says since 2942, the UEE War Finance Committee has sold war bonds valued at 100 UEC. This is an in-game representation of a gift for backers from CIG. Okay, so there you go.
I have to correct myself. I do have this one. This
I was going
came
to
out
say.
2016. Yeah,
Yeah.
February 5th, 2016.
I was going to say, yeah, you probably should have had this because I know you were in before we hit the 100 mark. All right. So that's what that is. Now, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't function as anything. Some of these items, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that they gave us back in the day. They gave us a variety of, not gave us. They have display cases. Some of the display cases are for items like this. They're for trophies. They're for model ships you see. They actually used to go in those display cases. It was actually kind of cool back in the day when it did work. But anyway, that was one of the commemoratives. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was just for like, you know, we had a hangar. We couldn't do much in our hangar except get into the ship and pretend to fly our hangar ready ship because they weren't flight ready at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So CIG gave us these flares and or whatnot to help us decorate and give us a little personality to our hangars back then. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's a play off of, you know, we know that the flight experience, Chris Roberts wants to be evocative of World War II dogfighting to a certain extent. This is also a play off of World War II. There was a lot of buying war bonds, right, to support the war effort. And there would be, and you could look up now, you can look up posters that talk about sacrifice and what are you prepared to do,
right?
And 85 million Americans hold war bonds due you, and things like that, right? So it's evocative of that as well.
Yeah. So Meg, take a screenshot of that. Next time you want to buy a ship, give them that. That's a war bond. All right, you can give them that, and they'll hook you up. They'll hook you up. Okay.
Wait, how many? Shoot, I can't think of the name of the 42 million Legatus packages. Can I get with that? That's the question.
Not anywhere near what you need to get. I can tell you that. Wow, we hit our sub goal. Thank you. Though we got a 10 out of 10 so far. That's great. Thank you guys. We also had another commemorative, and it's I don't know. Let me ask you, all of you, all this. Are you Thracazogs? Thank you so much for the Prime sub gift. Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you.
How do you guys feel about this? You know, every time they hit a milestone, is that a positive, or is it like a reminder of the fact that we made more money and we still don't have the game? How do you all feel about, you know, if they do those milestones every time they hit a number? They've stopped doing it now. They haven't done it in the last few milestones, but
yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, like, 100 million, that's a big ass milestone, because that was the first time we hit a big round number back in 2016. So I was all for it. And like you said, they kind of fell off. They used to do it every like 50, I want to say. They used to do something, and then it became every 100, and now it's like rare. I'm pretty sure the next time we see a big milestone like this will be when they hit 1 billion. But I don't think they did anything but 800 million. So yeah, it's become a lot rare. Speaking of rare, than what it has been.
Yeah, I'm concerned though that there's a reason why they stopped doing it. You know, back in the day when it was up to like 300 million, it was celebratory, right? It was like,
Right.
You know, we have more money. Now it's like, where's the game? It's not like people are celebrating that we made $800 million. You know what I mean? I mean, there are the people who watch the clock and each year wonder whether or not we're going to beat the year out before. But these milestones, right, have phased away a bit. And I wonder if it's because of PR. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be an issue, but I do wonder. I don't know, Meg, what do you think? Do you think it comes off as bragging in a good way, bad way, or I don't know? What do you think?
About which part?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me change the picture, because this is the one for when we hit 200 million, right? We got this little thing, right? So each year you would get something. That's what they were doing. Yeah. Like at 100 million, this was the 200 million mark. Do you think that they should like continue like to put out something every time they hit one of those milestones, or do you think it's like maybe not? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think it's bragging. I definitely think it's a good milestone every single time to commemorate. Yeah, that's definitely the answer. You're saying a lot of stuff, and
I'm sorry.
I think the media and things like that, they hate it.
That right.
CIG makes money. But no, yeah. I mean, people are still playing the game. They're still making money. they're still pushing out more stuff. So especially this year, like you can say, man, they just keep wanting us to buy stuff, but at least we have like this year where we're getting so much content and stability. So yeah, I think if they keep up with stuff like that, I don't see a reason why they shouldn't commemorate.
You know, some of these.
On the one hand, you want to. Sorry, I was going to say. On the one hand, you want to hit people over the head with the truth that CIG is making 2 games, and if you averaged the 13 years and the 800 million, that's about 61 million a year. And if you averaged the 1,000 employees, that's about $61,000 per employee. So they're trying to give a living wage to people, even though those averages don't work out, right? We have more now than we did then, and everything,
right?
And things come in waves. So, and the vast majority of that is us, right? So you'd want to celebrate what we have done, right, to fund these 2 games.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you also have to take the temperature of people, right? And to your point, I think they did recognize that at some point this went from a celebration and elevation of all of the community and everybody, and we could enjoy it, to almost a rod for their own back to even talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think, and that's a sad thing, right? Because I think they're doing a lot for these 2 games with a reasonable funding structure, and this is different than publishing, where you don't see any of this behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Right. I mean, and I'd like to get something for my participation in the 800 million. Give me something for every one of those milestones. I want something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to say, like back in 2016 for the 100 million, and then 2019 for the 200 million, like you said, Griff, it's more celebratory, and people were more like, "Yay, we made 200 million, we made 100 million," and I corrected myself early on because I used to be the same, and I just say, "We made 200 million." Wait, I'm not seeing a penny of that 200 million. What do you mean? Why am I saying we for? They made 200 million, and I think a lot more people caught on to that fact. And I mean, it's still accurate to say, but it's still more like it's a collaboration between the community and CIG. I think it was more of it back then and less of it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the idea of giving these items was that. It was something that was basically, this is what you have done. And it was also a way of saying you were here when it happened, right? You were a part of that process. So for some people, getting those items, and we're going to see some other items that are like that too, even just in relation to going to CitizenCon, they would give out things for that, but the idea was like, it was a milestone. It was to let you know, hey, this is an achievement that was done, at any given time. Let's take a look at some of the other items, because you mentioned some of these, Serious, a few minutes ago. Meg, would you mind reading that one there for poster? Oh, I'm sorry, the UEE calendar.
Yep. Keep track of space and time with this UEE calendar decoration for your hangar. The calendar displays Star Citizen's in-game date in 2944 and includes a variety of future holidays. You can also flip to future months for making long-term plans.
Yep. Serious, did you own one of these?
I did, in my Revel in York hangar.
And would you tell everyone how do you remember what it did? Do you remember how it functioned and how it did not function?
No, I don't.
Okay.
At all.
FC, what about you? Do you remember?
I remember, but I never had one. It was one of those things that's been it's still available in the subscriber for in the subscriber store. So it's like after 2944 when it came and went, I was like, there's no need to pick one up. But it did function for 2944, but it did not function for a future date.
And that was the problem with it. It was actually very cool because a lot of these items actually did function and work, but it only worked for 2944. It had information in there for that, and it didn't project into the future. Okay. So that was probably one of the, in a long-term sense. Now, mind you, a lot of this stuff was being put in the games, especially back at this particular point, as things for them to test out, right? They weren't trying to project this thing to last for 10 years. But it was an idea, it was a novel idea to see this calendar that you could cycle through and see different things that had happened throughout the history during that particular period of time. But it did cap off. It did not run to like 20. You couldn't keep going each year with this calendar. But it was just one of those items that you could put in your hangar if you wanted to, and it was kind of a cool thing. Let's take a look at this next one here. Sirius, I'm going to go to you since you brought up about the posters.
Let me pull this up. Yes, the posters. Be a Hero. Hanger posters were sold on Voyager Direct, for folks that remember that, from 2013, August 31st, at the price of 5,000 UEC each. On the 9th or the 6th of September 2013, the price was revised to 1,000 UEC, and with backers refunded the difference still in UEC.
Yep.
We have the Be a Hero poster, the We Want You poster, and then it looks like a Retaliator poster and a Murray Cup poster. So,
now, notice what these were purchased with, Meg. Did you see what we spent to buy these?
UEC.
Yeah. So you know that money you get when you buy a ship and they say you get 10,000. That's what they had to use for these things back then. You know. FC, you own them?
Yeah, before they took them away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had. Yeah, I'm looking at my hanger now, and I don't see them. I don't know if there's a way to get them now.
Are they gone from?
Because they had these. Hold on, let me see. I know
Are
I
they
had the Murray
gone?
one.
They're gone from the hanger?
Hold on. Okay, I do have the Murray. I have the Murray one. I don't have the Be a Hero one. So yeah, I do have it. It still says 1,000 UEC, and it's April 11th, 2016. So I don't have all of them, but I have a couple of few of them. So I didn't get the whole collection this time.
Okay. I've got them. I want to say that the Retaliator one was also one that you would get when you bought the Retaliator back in LTI time back in the day. Because there were some ships, there were some ships, like for example, the Connies were like that. If you bought the package, it would have posters of all the Connie series and stuff, which is, I forgot to put that one in because that one's one that you can't find either. But yeah, those are some of the different posters and things. And this was, it's not until just recently, right, Meg? I think you were the first one to tell us about how you were able to decorate your room with a poster because we didn't even know it was working until you mentioned it.
Right. You're like, oh, they're back.
I remember when Meg posted that to Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That was tight. That you just tried that was cool, and then it worked. That was very cool. Yeah.
And mind you, when we had these posters, we couldn't do squat with them. You just had them in your inventory. So, it wasn't until many, many years later that posters all of a sudden became active that you could put them up on the wall. Darkazox, thank you again for that sub to yoyoMeg. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
I remember being able to put the Murray Cup poster up.
You could?
Back then.
We could?
Yeah, back then, yeah. That's one of the reasons why
You know
I got
what?
it.
You know what? I do remember later on, eventually they did make it where we could put stuff on the wall. Because I remember when we had those holographic images, we could put them up right in the beginning. You couldn't. Yep, that's true. I forgot. In the hangar, you could. Yep. Okay. Let's see. But okay, fastcart. Why don't you hit this next one we got coming up? Patron of the Arts.
Next one is award. Patron of the Arts. The coveted Patron of the Arts Award plaque given by the very prestigious Imperial Arts Foundation. The award is usually reserved for citizens who contribute to the arts, but the foundation wanted to acknowledge subscribers' continued contribution.
Okay. So one of the things about some of these items that we used to get was that sometimes CIG would just send us stuff. It wasn't like you had to pay for it or anything. You would just get it. The only question I had, maybe you guys have a response to this, is, again, is this just something that's kind of cool to hang up in your hangar? Does it give you any props in the game? Maybe at some point, I don't know. Some stuff's just cosmetic, right? That's all it is. It's just going to be a nice something to put on the wall. Something to say, hey, I was around back in I don't even remember what year this came out. I should have put the years next to these. 2015. So I do have this one. But that may be all it is, and maybe when Meg comes to my hangar, she looks up and says, hey, I don't have this. Where'd you get this from? And I'm like, you little whippersnapper, you weren't around back then, But it could also be things that, like, for people who are completionists, might say, hey, how much do you want for that? You know what I mean? I'd like to have that in my hangar. You know what I mean? I might say, okay, well, how much you got? So I'm just curious to see, what things are going to be relevant to, actually help you in the game in some form. What are some of the things that are just cosmetic and they're just cool to put on the wall or put into a cabinet? Some of these things are functional. Some of them are static, just so you guys will know. These different ones they have.
And there are themes in terms of design and look, right? certain collections are themed to look a certain way, and when you put them all together, they'd have a certain look in your space, right?
This is perfect for
that's
perfect for Origin Hangar. Just so you know that. You notice the great
Oh my God!
marble and gold detailing. You know, all of you Southland.
It'll be good for SeriousFun hangers too. The RSI hanger. I think it'll be good for SeriousFun too.
All of you Southland and Arrowview people. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what it goes for.
Oh, Airview's fine. Airview, the asteroid one, the Southland and the VFX one. Those are the ones that
I plan on living in one of those places on Orison that float and have the little putting green out front. And in my habitat, there will be a certain elevated sense of style.
Oh boy. Okay. Fair enough.
Like I said, this came out in 2015, and I was a Imperator subscriber at the time, so I do have 2 of these. So I could gift one.
You could gift one, or you could trade one, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. We could talk about it. Okay, so that is the this is Imperial Arts Foundation, but is the Patron of the Arts Award. Now we're going to get into something that people have seen before. These are the different trophies. And these we had in the game, and you used to be able to take these out. And I don't know, did either of you all have the glass display cabinet, the tall one that had like 3 shelves in it? Yeah. So you used to be able to take these out and put them up. And now, mind you, the sad part about this is the idea of it was supposed to be you put this stuff up, people come visit you in your hangar and say, hey, that's cool. Well, back then, nobody could visit your hangar. So you're the only person that got to see this stuff, right? Which sucked. But Star Citizen has been doing this, or CIG has been doing this again recently. This is from 2945. That was a trophy for that year. They also did one back in the day for when they would go to Gamescom. So this one was from Gamescom 29, 45, 46.
46,
yeah. And you notice the styling is different, right? It's got a different styling to it. And then I think there's one more here. That's 2946 again. I think I doubled my things by accident.
No, they're different.
That's Citizen
Con. That's Citizen Con, right? That's Citizen Con, right? So that's Citizen Con. So again, these are like milestone things that basically say, hey, I was there. Now back then they used to just give us these. Now you got to buy them. They do the Citizen Con pack, right? Am I correct?
Goodie bag.
Yeah, the goodie bag. The goodie pack.
Yeah.
Digital goodies.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you guys feel about that?
And also what's interesting, like I'm looking at my hanger now, I have 3 sets of CitizenCon subscriber trophies. I'm sorry. One was a trophy that you could buy to support the project. That was for $5 US. But then you have a subscriber trophy that if you're an Imperator, you get 2 of them. If you're a Centurion, you get 1 of them. So yeah, but the subscriber looked different from the one that you bought.
I think the first thing I ever got next to my Aurora was a UEE towel. I think the towel was before they hit 42 million for Squadron 42.
I definitely didn't have that.
Yeah. Yep. The towel.
A towel.
Yep.
And it just arrived. And I remember being like, a towel? I thought it was whack. I didn't even pay attention to it, but I always saw it at the bottom of my account, the UEE towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the type of stuff that was how I was looking at the type of stuff that would just come to you, right?
Yeah.
Versus the other stuff that maybe you could get. So.
Now there are still a couple items when we started out the show. I told you all that there are items that we did not put on this list. We have 39 items today, and we could have come up with a lot more stuff. One of the items you just triggered my brain was, remember they gave us the Christmas wreath. They had a big Christmas wreath that you could put up on the wall. For those people who bought the Avenger when it first came out, you got a set of handcuffs and a stun baton. Remember that? Because people have been waiting for those 2 items to come in for bounty hunting missions. And if you go, matter of fact, when you come out of your habs in the station, if you go up to that counter, as soon as you come off the elevator, you'll see a set of those cuffs and stuff in there. So there are a lot of items that have come and gone over the years that, we may see them resurface. I really believe we will see them resurface. But just to let you know, some of the stuff goes like way, way, way back. And it's not on the subscriber store. It's not in the regular store anymore. But some folks do have some of these items that we're talking about. Okay.
And those items that we talk about that you bought with UEC, I do not believe that they're available for buyback. If you melt those, they're gone permanently. So be careful.
Be careful with them. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're doing good on our time today. It's going to be a little bit shorter show than normal, maybe. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
I can make it longer.
No, you don't. Trust me. I don't want you to go out of your way. We're going to take a 1-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back and share some more stuff with you all. All right. We are in our ad break. As always, we want to say thank you to you if you're a subscriber. If you support us either through Patreon or through Twitch or through YouTube. Thank you. You guys always make this possible for us. We're in our 5th year. And we've got a lot to still talk about today on this show this week. Next week, we are going to be doing our show on Invictus. We'll be doing our review. We always do an annual review at the end of Invictus and tell you our thoughts about everything that's taken place during the Invictus flight week. So hopefully you all will be here to join us for that. Want you to make sure you all follow our girl, yoyoMeg. Meg is here today. We're always happy when she's on. Make sure you follow yoyoMeg on Twitch. She is one of our more active streamers, and we always want to support her, Abdi Johan, whenever they're out there, because they are carrying the torch. They're the next generation that are going to be alive to play this game later. So you all make sure you all support them, okay? All right. And we are back. Let's go ahead and get our next item here. Oh, we're going to hit some cool stuff now. Let me see. Am I here? Okay. So here we go. Now, we're going to be hitting the category of decorations. I'm going to hit you all with this one. Meg, I'm going to go to you. Have you ever seen that one before?
No.
Okay. SeriousFun.
Yes.
Yes, you've seen it. Yes, you have one, or no, you don't have one.
No, I do not have one, but I have seen that before. Yeah.
Okay. FC.
I've seen it. I do not have it. That's a year before I back.
What the heck? Really? You don't have one? I'm surprised.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Well, this cot was sold on Voyager Direct from 2013, August 31st, at the price of 5,000 UEC each. On September of 2013, the price was revised to 2,000 UEC, with backers being refunded the difference still in UEC. So what this was a cot. And everybody used to dream about, when I get my hanger, I'm going to put my cot in there and go to sleep. That was the big thing back in the day. And don't ask me why people wanted to sleep in their hanger, but they wanted to. But anyway, that's what this was. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It was the closest thing to having a personal hab.
Yeah, because we didn't have habs, right? We didn't have habs back then, right? That's where you were going to be.
That's why people wanted to sleep in a hanger.
Yep, that's very true. I do have one of these. Now, there are some of these items that we're showing you all that, even though we have them, CIG had put out a thing a little while back saying that they were updating some of the older items that we're showing you, and there are some that they haven't gotten to yet. This is one of them. I don't think the cot is working. I know there's several other ones, the workbench and some other ones that if you try to bring them up, you can bring them up, but you can't do anything with them. The workbench is glued to the ground. It won't even come off the elevator. Then there are other items that you can actually use, the fish tanks and some other things that are early items. And you guys have seen those already. So those we're not talking about, but those really rare finds, weird things that you can't find anymore, don't see anymore, like this cot. This is one of those items too. FC, I'm going to go to you on this next one. Why don't you read that one?
The lamp. The lamp is an in-game decoration which refers to a lamp left on during a live stream. The lamp was available as an in-game decoration sold on Voyager Direct from 2013, August 31st, at the price of 5,000 UEC each. On 2013, September 6th, the price was revised to 2,000 UEC, with backers refunded the difference still as UEC. I do not have one of these either because this is before my time. This is a year before my time again. 2013, I got everything. 2014 onward, yes. 2014 and before, no.
Yeah. There were a lot of items that were on the store back in the day too that you just kind of assumed would always be there. And then all of a sudden they would disappear. and you wouldn't see them anymore. And it was like, dag, I wanted to buy that. I didn't know they were going to take it off the store. And that still kind of happens every once in a while. But in general, back then, that type of thing would happen. Now, I don't remember. I do remember there was a story about this lamp. And I thought, if I remember correctly, the community was the one that barked about it and said that they wanted them to make it. And they ended up making this lamp because the community said they wanted it because of whatever happened on that live stream.
They made a lot of money because
the live stream.
The community put their money where their mouth was. They said the community wanted it, the community got it, and the community bought it. So I'm sorry, go ahead, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the live stream was such that they put a sticker on the lamp that is essentially tantamount to "We'll be back later."
Right.
And like when they went out to like the dinner, you know.
Yeah.
And when they came back, there was so much commentary about lore had been built up around the lamp. They had named the lamp, right? They had given purpose to the lamp. You know how chat does, right? They had come up with a whole life for this lamp. And because they had put so much work in across this stream while they were gone, they were like, we want this to be memorialized in some way. You know? And there you go. That's the lamp.
Yeah, prisoner.
And the funny, I'm sorry. The funny thing is, this is just an IKEA lamp. So does that have to pay royalty to IKEA for anything?
No. Yeah, the prisoner says that the lamp was during the Eric Peterson era. And then Mad Style says the lamp also became the first Star Citizen big meme related to an item at that time. I remember this. I remember when it was a big deal about the lamp and everybody wanted to get the lamp. You know, I actually went on Amazon to find a lamp that looks like this. And there I can find almost identical, but I haven't found it yet. But I've looked actually to see if I could find that lamp. IKEA? I don't think it's IKEA. It might be, but I'll look and see. You think it's IKEA for that lamp?
I think it was IKEA. That's what I remember people were saying back then.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't. I looked for variety. There was like there's variations.
That's
no, if that's what you heard, I never heard that. So if you heard that, you're probably right. That probably is where it was from. Then okay, I will definitely take a look. Okay, that's the lamp. I know. Meg's like, really a lamp. Really?
Hey, Meg, you got to remember back then we didn't have that much stuff compared to now.
We were poor. We were poor back then, Meg. All we had was a lamp to get excited about. Oh my God.
Yeah, and we were thankful.
Now we have Idris's.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah, right.
All right, the locker from another universe. Need a place to keep your gear between missions? Add this set of full-size flight lockers to your hangar. But wait, there's more. Each of the 3 doors contains surprises sure to entertain dedicated Star Citizen fans. Dare you explore the locker from another universe? All right. Yeah, these lockers, once again, these were items that you could place down. Those locker doors did open up, and there was some interesting kind of things inside of them. They look like a typical locker that some flight person would have with pictures and little post-it notes and all types of things in there. But there was a little bit of lore or a little bit of mystery to them because of this posting. And if I'm remembering correctly, there was a serial number inside of here that people kept trying to figure out. Does this serial number unlock something? I don't know. Does anybody in chat remember that back in the day? FC, do you remember that? There was a post-it note with a serial number, like a 8-digit or 6-digit code.
I never had this one.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't have this one.
Serious? Did you have it?
I didn't get it.
I don't know. This is the first time I'm even seeing this one.
Really?
No, I knew of it. I knew about it.
It's still on the store, and I have not seen this one.
Oh,
so I was like, what the heck is this?
Meg, what about you?
I missed it entirely.
Meg, you haven't seen this one either?
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, Colossal said, yeah, and we looked all over the place for it. Okay. Yeah, this was a while back. Yeah, the locker. And it was functional. Like, again, some of these things were animated and did little things and everything. But I don't think there was ever anybody who found any special thing about that locker. I don't think so. So, okay. All right, let's move right along here. Oh,
wait, so was this at the time? This was stuff that you needed a subscription to see, or it was just
I'm trying to remember this. I don't think there was there. No, the subscriber store wasn't in at that point, was it? Fastcart? It was just the general store.
The subscriber store was in.
Was
and
it?
You get it as a subscriber, or if you an importer, you get two. If you're a civilian, you get one.
In 20,
But, yeah, I believe the subscriber. Well, is it 2013 or 2014?
did we have? I was going to say, did we have the subscriber store back then? I don't know.
I know we had it in 2014. I remember it.
But see,
I don't know
really,
about 2013.
well, I'm like whoever just said it in the chat. I'm little colossal. See, I got this because I bought the tiny pack, and that had this included. So I didn't buy this off of the store. But I just, for some reason, don't remember. I felt like the subscriber store came later, like before there was the Voyager Direct store. Man, I
Maybe
don't
I'm
remember.
confusing the two. I remember it was on some store.
Okay, so Jade said the subscriber store was in by 2016 when she came in. Okay. Yeah, I just can't remember it when the subscriber store kicked off. I don't remember. They're still on the subscriber store right now. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Joe M. Yeah. Yeah, some of these items are still there. Absolutely. But some of these items also don't work right now, too. So be aware of that. You know, a lot of this older stuff, if you buy, say, oh, I didn't have that. Just be aware that it doesn't work right now. Some of these really do not work. You can't even call them up. And you can usually kind of tell if you look in your inventory, if it doesn't look right or something, it's kind of, doesn't work. Okay. All right, let's go on to this next item here. Sirius, I'm gonna hit you on this one.
Yeah. Stellar Sonic Jukebox. Now, this I do remember. If your hanger is a rockin', this classic 2920 Stellar Sonic stereo system by Steradian's Audio Arts is capable of playing any music file you load into it. Jukebox features an interactive visualizer and the ability to play MP3s from any folder on your PC. Make your hanger your home.
The rest of that, don't ask me why that was in there, so don't worry about that, but you got it right. Meg, have you seen this one before?
I have not.
Okay. Serious, do you remember how this worked?
It worked like they talked about.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it worked.
Okay.
Yeah. You could play MP3s from your computer, and you would get a visualization of the music as it went.
Yeah.
If I remember.
And you remember the controversy?
No.
You remember the controversy, Griff?
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell them.
Okay, so what had happened was they put this in the game, and anyone who was around or like watching the stream or whatever could hear the music coming from the jukebox, and the MPA did not like that. So they took away the functionality of it playing music from your computer.
Yep. Yep. So if that makes any sense.
Trouble with that one. They say no, you can't do that.
Yep.
So yeah, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. And it did work. You would be in your hangar, and it actually worked with proximity too. Like the closer you got to it, the louder the music got. So basically, Meg, you could set this up in your hangar and play your music while you were working in there and doing stuff, and you could whatever your songs or your playlist would play. It was actually, and it kind of even had an audible thing. Like if you went further back in your hangar, it got a little bit of an echo to it, but you could hear your music very clearly.
Cool.
But the streamers would have that playing, and then when they'd stream, the music's going out. So it's unfortunate, but it was a very cool item. It was a very cool item.
And I think what it could do, or maybe it's too much work because you have to make it work. So if it would only play Star Citizen music, I think that it might be okay.
Yeah, they'd be all right doing that. Yeah, but you can't, be playing your playlists off of Spotify on that bad fella.
Then what people would do would just change the music inside the game file to make play on the song. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that was the jukebox, and it was very cool. It was very cool. It worked for a good while too. I remember it was a good little while we had that working in the game.
Yeah, I never got this because by the time I was into it, it stopped working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's see, Meg, would you mind reading that one for me?
The Hartwell Music Sentinel 88G.
Mm-hmm.
The Hartwell Music Sentinel 88G is a futuristic grand piano that was offered with the first batch of Constellation Phoenix hulls. It was also available separately as a hangar item. When interacted with, the Sentinel plays Moonlight Sonata by Ludwig van Beethoven.
Yeah. So the Hartwell Sentinel, this was one of the items that came with, if you bought the Constellation Phoenix LTI at the very beginning, the piano was included with it. This was also one of those items that I was talking about that would sit on the store for months and months, and you'd see it for a while, and then it up and disappeared. And it never came back. And I was heartbroken because I always said, oh, I'm going to get that piano one day. I finally got the piano like 2 years ago or a year or 2 years ago. From someone,
so happy.
from someone. Yeah, but I was searching. I mean, I had like a 3-year search out on Reddit and everything trying to find it. Now, you'll see there, Meg, there's a number parked next to that too. That is a most recent number from one of the sites where someone is selling it. This thing went for, how much was it, Fastcart, back in the day? It was like maybe $5 or $10 or something like that, probably, on the store. And Meg, why don't you tell everybody what the price is if somebody's actually bidding for that now?
It's $700.
Yeah, now. And I've seen it higher than that. I've seen it higher than that.
$1,250.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it on Star Hanger for $1,000, $1,500. It's crazy to think that that's what people are asking for. And I've also seen it sell as low as the lowest I've seen it sell for is $500. You know, so it's kind of, you know, like wow. But you know, some people, for the completionist people, they want something, and we just don't know whether or not these items will come back. Now, CIG has often implied that there will be things that are available in the universe, but you know, sometimes we want something when we want it, and that idea of waiting later just isn't a thing. It's like,
or CIG will make something similar to it, but not exactly like it. Because,
that could be it too.
Yeah, because it may not be the exact same thing, but it may be something similar that's available in game.
Yep. But it is a unique item. If for those of you who own Phoenixes, I've never tried to take this out in the hangar. I'm sure maybe you can, but it replaces the conference table, the dining room conference table on the Constellation Phoenix. If you go into the manager, you just swap it out, and then the piano is there, and it does work. It does play. It does play the Moonlight Sonata when you play it. Very cool item. Meg, have you ever seen it?
I have, yep.
Yep, you have. Cool. Serious, you've seen it in game?
I have.
Okay.
I have. I at a point in time I had the Phoenix, but I got it after that initial batch that had this, and I was always I still fiend on these sites for it. I still look around. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How much would you be willing to pay for one of these? SeriousFun?
Not what they're charging now. So I gotta wait till the phenomena come all the way back around. You know? But the look of that thing, you know, of course,
that's cool.
Griff likes it because the look of it is pure RSI. Look at that design. Just look at it. It's beautiful. Pure RSI.
Yeah. I only put it on the Phoenix. I don't know if it's elevated itself to being on Origin ship yet, but I have put it on the Phoenix, so we'll see. All right, that's the piano. Another one of those rare items.
So Togan said you could still get it from CIG for the $15,000 pack. So $15,000
it is included. It is included. It actually is in the Praetorian pack. That is the one time where you can still get it. Yes, it is. It's in the Praetorian pack. Yep. It is. I know that for a fact because when I was looking at it, well,
I had the Praetorian pack and I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The two items that I was surprised about was that the Idris M was in there in this piano. Those two things, and I was really eyeballing it. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they should have the Night Runner paint in there.
Oh, yeah. That would be good. That would be good. All righty, let's talk about this familiar item, the Big Benny's vending machine. Additionally, if you become a subscriber before April the 17th, this was back in 2017, y'all, you'll receive a special piece of bonus flair, a Big Benny's vending machine to decorate your hangar with. This flair will be distributed to all active subscribers April 18th of 2017. Now, there was a lot of weird lore about the Big Benny's machine, Meg, so we're going to fill you in. Back when we had, was it Kovalex? It was Kovalex, right? The Big Benny's machine,
the gas station,
would float around, and it Kovalex. It was, because it's all zero gravity, right? And Meg, we didn't have multi-tools back then, so you basically would EVA yourself and bump into the vending machine until you got it out of Kovalex outside. And then people would, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, Yeah, Mukul, thank you. It was Kovalex. Then you had to try to put it in like a ship, like a freelancer or something, Meg. And mind you, there was no grid back then. And so when you try to get it in, back then when you push stuff into the ship, sometimes it would push back against you. I literally pushed mine in one time and it bounced me out and literally knocked me 3,000 meters away from my ship. Like instantaneously, I got rubber banded. But people used to take these and bring them to Port Olisar. And that was the big goal, was to get, and then once you got off Port Olisar, you had to push that thing out, get it down the state. It was crazy. There's a big thing about the Big Benny's machine because people wanted it that badly, you know? Mm-hmm.
And it took hours and hours and many tries. And if you had a 30K, you had to start all over again.
That was the worst.
And, you know, this is called, you forgot to name it. It's called the Big Benny Challenge back then.
It was the Big Benny's Challenge. Yep, Big Benny's Challenge. So eventually they did put these out for the subscribers, and you could purchase it for a period of time. I don't think this is on the store. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think they moved that.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy these. But everybody's always hoped that they would be a working machine that you could put into your hangar. That way it'd be a source of food. We don't know, again, whether it's going to be cosmetic, whether it's going to work or not. Don't know, but definitely a cool item to have if you can have it. Captain Jones says he doesn't see it.
You can only get the Big Benny's mug. You can't
just the mug. Yeah.
It's still in game though.
So-
that and the Pips machine.
Yeah.
Still have those.
Oh, you gonna steal maybe going in with the she'll go in with the crowbar one day and pry the sucker off the wall and take it down.
No, they're floating in there still.
Oh, they are. Oh yeah, down in Complex. Yeah. You can. Yeah. In there you can. Yep. Yeah. Jade says she's got two.
I do have this in my hangar. I became a subscriber just to get this because I was just in time to get it. I got it on April 17th, and I think the deadline was at the 18th. But I'm an imperator, so I happen to have two. Someone from Relay Station said that she never got one because she missed her chance, so I decided to gift it. So I only have one now, and it's not giftable. So yeah.
Okay. There's a price tag next to this one. Right now, I see this is going for about $100.
Wait, I lost $100 giving it away? Dang.
Yeah.
$100 is a scam. It's in game.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Okay. All right. So those are all of our decorations that we've got for you. We've got a couple more items we're going to talk about that are a little bit different. And there's some other ones that we could go through. We're just giving you a sample here. But these come into what we call concierge items. And some of you all have seen these before. And I remember back in the day, people aspired to get these because there was some type of, well, I don't want to say it's the wrong way, but there was a certain level of pride if you reached the level of concierge. And there were two items that were to go along with the concierge VIP gold and black flight suit and armor. And that was the Uberov Deadeye pistol, okay, which is the gold and black. And then there was also the, I always say this wrong, Atscav Deadeye sniper rifle. And these two complemented each other. There was a lot of, how can I say this, before these guns, there was a lot of anticipation for people who got these. Do you think these deliver for what they are? I mean, like, are they like the cool weapon to have, or is it just the fact that they're gold and black and they match your armor? Anybody got any thoughts on those two weapons?
That's the latter. It's the latter. It's look, and it's a nice to have, but I have never equipped, when I've gone out to do anything, I never think about these weapons. I don't think I need to put these on. So,
Meg, what about you?
Lame.
FC, you ever use them?
The High Admiral, that's the $10,000 one? Which one is that?
That's $1,000, I think.
1,000. Wow. Oh, you know what? It's in my, okay. I probably do have it, but I don't think I equipped it or anything like that.
I don't care what y'all say. I like them guns.
So yeah, I'm looking at it.
I'll see you with them on though.
Wait a minute.
I like the way they look too.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but personally, I don't think the tiers make sense. For
Yeah.
concierge. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
a normal video game, maybe you spend. I mean,
agree.
microtransactions these days, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
bruh,
Mhm.
$1,000 and you gave me a pistol and a sniper.
I agree. I agree. I agree. 100%.
My guess, Meg, is that the tiers might change when it's a game. But these are development tiers, which I think is new for me. It was new for me versus like stuff that I might get in game, like cosmetics and stuff.
Mhm.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I just think they've said they're gonna change it and haven't, and they're already
Mhm.
changing other things. And this definitely needs to be one of the things that they change at some point.
Mhm.
Like, we're so deep that it's
Mhm.
almost like the excuse is gone. In my eyes, at least.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a fair
Like,
point.
we're seeing, like, what is it? The referral stuff's gone. It's gonna be gone.
Mhm.
That was here for how long?
Yeah.
Maybe not forever. I don't know when they started that, but why can't
Yeah.
they change the concierge stuff as well?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been, to your point, a lot of people
Well-
have been calling for a reform
Mhm.
of concierge and these levels.
Yeah.
So
Togi-
it's not a new thing. Yeah.
Togi said that these are not concierge. I thought that you got these at a concierge level. These are just sub items.
Because I'm looking at my ammo stuff right now, and I've seen a Clausen Warner Arrowhead Sniper Head gold.
Ah, that's what it
And I'm-
is. It's the Clausen Warner. He's right. I got it wrong, Togi.
Okay,
Thank you.
so,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you for
Okay.
correcting me. It is the Arrowhead. Thank you, Togi. See, I can count on Togi. It's two things. In the pistol, is it the 38? Is
And
it
the pistol is the
LH
Arclight
38?
2 laser
the Arclight.
pistol.
I got it wrong, Togi. That's what happens when you work on your stuff at 2 a.m. I'm sorry.
That's
you
why I
know
couldn't
what?
find it in my hangar.
All I saw was gold and black. I'm sorry. Got it wrong. So yes, it's the Arrowhead. Thank you. And the Arclight. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I have to pay attention to chat because they're smarter than I am.
And I don't put those on either.
Yeah.
I don't put them in on either now.
You guys
didn't
are
even know.
breaking my
A lot
heart.
of people probably didn't even know.
You all are breaking
You're
my
wrong.
heart.
Well, wait.
I love the Arclight. I love the Arclight. Oh my
I put the
god.
arc light on. I just don't put the gold on so you can see
Oh,
me
the
coming.
gold one. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
I do put the monocle and top hat on, but
Yeah.
I have put those on.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Togi. Thank you for correcting me on that one. Let's see what do we got next. FC, why don't you read this one, the Arden? And I'll tell you what this armor was included in the CitizenCon 2951 goodies pack. This particular armor was. Okay, go ahead.
And Abdi, did we say thank you to Abdi Johan for the subscription? Thank you very much.
Oh, I didn't even hear it chime.
Abdi.
Thank you, Abdi. It's good to see you, Abdi. Thank you.
Yeah, so the Arden SL Balefire. With an excellent design and eye-catching style, the Arden SL armor exemplifies why security specialists love Wilsonov rehabilitation system. This versatile armor lets the wearer stay agile but safe thanks to the precision placement of special composite armor plating and fabric. It also features a tool belt for easy access to important gear.
Okay. So let me ask you all a question. Meg, I'll start with you on this one. CIG, we talked about this a little bit earlier. CIG has kind of implied or spoken of the fact that they want these armors to be not just cosmetic, but meaningful. So when you read a description like this, where they talk about the fact that it's lightweight, obviously that's an advantage, but yet still gives you protection. Are you thinking that we're going to start seeing that? Because people have a tendency right now to just kind of, everybody loads up, not everybody, a lot of people just load up with heavy armor, right? Because it's like kind of like the default. But do you think if CIG starts to implement this type of stuff where they actually put the tech into the armors, that players will kind of move away? Because by default, our brain tells us if it's heavier, it's more protective, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to make the game so much more alive. It's going to, I don't know what else to say. Like the crafting and stuff, like you're focusing on more than just the basics. Like you might be going after whatever it requires to either craft or unlock that stuff. If it's locked behind reputation or area zones, stuff like that. Yeah, that'll be great. If I didn't even know that about the Arden. Arden's my favorite armor. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. With it being light armor, you still get some armor plating.
Mhm.
I don't. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sirius, you were walking around yesterday and you were talking about how normally you wear heavy, but you had put on some medium, and you said you noticed the difference in just movement, right?
Well, I had historically worn medium, but since Hathor and I want to every time you want to collect a bunch of stuff when you go down to Hathor, you don't want to
Mhm.
you don't want to put your gun. You want to put your gun in your backpack. And
Right.
so a heavy backpack gives you space for that. Then you could pick up other guns, right,
Mhm.
and not
Mhm.
have to run back to the ship.
Mhm.
But so since Hathor, I've been in heavy armor. But then to go back
Mhm.
after heavy to medium, the
Mhm.
differences were profound in terms of just like speed and movement, lateral movement, etc. So
Mhm.
that stuff is in the game.
Mhm.
One of the things that I think we're looking forward to, and to your point, God bless you. To your point, um, we got a taste of this at a previous CitizenCon where they started talking about pockets
Mhm.
and modularity of pockets and being able to move them around
Mhm.
and things like that. Is when you get some of these armors, like the Arden one that has these pockets on the utility belt or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Right now, they just obscure, like when you put a weapon on or put a knife on, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I look forward to the day when they become the functional pockets, right?
Yeah.
And give to the point that was made earlier, a new dimensionality to armor. So like maybe heavy armor has more protection but less utility,
Mhm.
right? And these other armors less protection but more utility, right?
Mhm.
You can do more things with different pockets and move them around and carry different things in different ways. So
Yeah.
yeah, just looking forward to that sort of um, development and there's different armors that have some of these different descriptions and
Mhm.
seeing the fullness of that come into the game.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you another item. I think this item was also a part of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. The Ardent SL Balefire. This one along with that, it was called the RRS knife, called the Fallout in particular is the name of it. This limited edition set of equipment knife and commemorative trophy. This was a part of that package that we talked about. Was received from the developers as in honor of the Star Citizen's anniversary 2951. This was the same one that went with the armor we just looked at a second ago and the trophy from 2951. These things were all a part of that celebration. I don't know. I haven't been able, and maybe someone out there in the chat, some of you folks who are really into the melee aspects of the game, they do have these various knives in the game. And I thought I heard that there is one knife in particular that is really good, but I don't know if there are any differences. Are there any differences in the knives in the game? There's that one knife that's the glowing one. That red one? It's got like, it's like lit up. And I thought I heard somebody say there was something special about that one. Maybe all they're talking about is the light. But is there anything about knives? Because there's a variety of different types in the game. Does anybody know? There's the Banu ones. There's all types. Do you all do the same thing?
When I do my wet work, I like a Banu knife to slice and dice when I get busy with my Lele
Oh,
knife.
God. Yeah. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong. Is
I-
it just an aesthetic thing, or are they different? Okay, Captain Jones says it's just looks. Okay,
It's
so it's
just
all
it's
about
just
the aesthetics. It's all about
Yeah.
the aesthetics. Okay,
All I have to say is, you call that a knife?
yeah. It would be interesting if they do build something into the knife, such as maybe even just something as simple as durability. The more expensive the knife, the more uses you can get out of it. If you get a cheap one, you may only get a few uses and then it breaks on you. But I'm just kind of curious because, like I said, some of these things are functional. Some of them are just aesthetic. They don't have any great functionality to them, and knives evidently is one of them. Okay.
But to your point, the Demon Fang is cool to have with that
Yeah.
glowing red edge.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But again, maybe somebody sees you coming too if you're in the dark. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be a trade-off, Use it in the daytime. I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and hit a new category here. We're kind of winding down on these categories, but this one's going to be a little bit more extensive. Let's see. Let me go to Meg on this one. Meg, are you familiar with the Raven and any of the story behind the Raven, the Saber Raven?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay. What do you know about it?
I know that Intel sold is it processors, and you got a code with that
Mhm.
that you could use to get a Saber Raven.
Yeah, it was actually
Processor or the SSD?
yeah, it was like one of the early SSDs,
Right.
and it plugged into your PCI slot if I'm remembering correctly. And there were like two versions of it.
Optimum drive or something.
It was called the Optimum, and I want to say there was like a 256 version and a 512 version back then, and I want to say you paid about $300 for it roughly. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Meg. You got a code for it, and a lot of people went for it. Some people at the time, for me, I bought one because I was on a hard drive and I was ready to go to the SSD thing. And so I was like, hey, for the price of my SSD, I'm getting and it's really what it was. The price of the SSD, it was like you got a ship for free. These also have sold at crazy prices now. Now, there were some people who bought these and didn't use the drive. They just wanted the code. And then they would sell the drive to somebody. Literally, they just sell the drive to someone else because all they cared about was getting the ship. Serious, do you own one of these, or did you take a pass on this when this came out?
I did, but I didn't get it when it came out. I got it afterwards, but before it got crazy.
Oh, okay, okay. Serious. How about you? Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, I am serious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. MC, what about you? Do you own one of these?
No, I never got one of these. This is a combat ship, so it wouldn't be something I was interested in.
Okay, Meg, you don't own one, do you? Or do you?
I do not.
No, you don't. Okay, all right. I own one, and I've always loved this ship, and I'm glad to see that CIG. You know, certain types of gameplay, they've been come and gone. Sometimes these ships work well, sometimes they don't work well. But I've always loved this particular ship, the Saber line of ships, and that's one of them right there. Hard to find. I don't know if you guys can look up on eBay or anything like that and see what it's going for right now. But right now, the price I saw yesterday on the okay, I can't think of the name of the website. I'll think of it in a minute. The asking price for this right now is $24.99. Is one of the asking prices. Yeah, the impound. Yeah, the impound. It was the impound. Yeah, these prices here are from the impound that I'm going to quote from here on out.
Not that we're endorsing any of these sites, folks.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Citizen Ninja hit it on the head. He said probably 2,500. Yeah. Go Mob 2,000. Yeah. Yep. So you're talking about a crazy amount of money for something like that. All right. Let's take a look at our next one here. Now you might say, Griff, why'd you put this one up here? Well, because this ship used to be, well, in the early days when it first came out, this is the Idris M. And it was obtainable. It was on the store. It was no big deal. But this ship also became much more difficult, and for many years, I don't even know what the sale has been like for the Idris M. I know they had stopped at one point, and I don't think is it being sold now? I didn't pay attention to the sales this time. That's why I'm asking. It's not being sold now. Is it just the P is being sold? So right, the Peacemaker.
Correct.
Okay. I want to say thanks, Togi. I want to say that this came out. Was it 1,500 when this first came out? Because it was more than the P. It was like a couple $100 difference. Do you guys remember what the sale price was for the Idris M?
I would have to look on the Wikipedia page, but sorry, you have to give me a moment for that one. But
it was 1,000 when it came out. Really? Wow.
1,000? Really?
Wow. When it came out, it was 1,000. Why did I feel like it was only? Why did I feel like it was like only a few $100s more? Holy smoke. My memory is really bad. Okay, well, no wonder. All right. Well, now I see why people bought the P. Holy moly. Yeah. But now the only way to get this ship, and correct me again if I'm wrong, is in the Praetorian pack. That's the next step that you have to go to. We're talking $15,000 to get access to this ship at this point. Curious to know how many of these are in the universe. I'm not because I know. I'm just really wondering how many people back then did that. And I don't remember when they stopped selling these. That's the other thing I don't remember. When I came in, it was still being sold, and then I remember it stopped at some point. I just don't remember when it was. And there are, obviously we saw that some of the differences in the video that came out last week about the differences in this ship. But you know, we'll see what happens with it. Meg, I know you probably had a chance to go on both versions, right? Have you had a chance to go on both the P and the M?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know there's a difference.
Yeah, you know, other than the fact that the you know, obviously the front weapon, the main weapon on it is different. I think if I'm remembering from the video, the difference is that on the P, you have a lower rear turret on the back of the ship, and on the M, you do not have it. That's one of the ways you can kind of spot the difference, other than the difference in the laser cannon or the K kit or whatever in the front.
Well, and it literally says it on the side too.
It does.
It'll say Idris M.
It'll say Idris M. Okay. Well, I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to get close enough to read that, though. That may not be a good thing to do, but you know, depends on how daring you are to be in it. But yeah, that was this one. So they said it was $1,000 back then. I do not have a price for it now, and what anybody's selling it for. And if you guys see anything online, I'd really be curious if someone is trying to sell one of these. And here's the kicker: like a few years ago, somebody might have been trying to sell this thing. But now that they're out, I'm wondering if you're not going to see these go up on places like the gray market at this point, you know? Then again, there may be that person who says this ship is way too much for me to deal with, and they may sell it. But if it's sold for $1,000, God only knows what it will sell for now in the game.
I'll be frank. I think as long as you have the ability from the pilot seat to control that main weapon, I think you're going to see a stability in the movement aftermarket of these things. I do think that CIG is going to reconsider that and maybe move the weapons to a weapons control officer.
I think that's going to happen anyway.
Just pilot. Yeah, when that happens, that's when you'll see a lot of movement aftermarket on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, people can go around and shoot that size 10, whatever it is, and fly. Right? So if that comes to an end, I think a lot of people's relationship with the ship will come to an end.
Yeah. What were you going to say, FC?
Captain Jones says 3 to 4K, and O2GB says I've seen 4K.
Wow. Too much for my blood. Okay. All right, let's talk about this next one here. What's that? The Anvil F7A Mark I. I always get confused about this and the story behind these. Does anybody remember the whole story about the F1A, of the F7A rather, Mark Is?
From what I understand, it was available for Veterans Day, but I forget what year. I didn't pick it up. And I'm not sure if it was a skin or a variant back then, but yeah. So it was very popular. It was a heck of a dogfighter, until the Mark II came around.
Okay. Hey, Info Runners, good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well over there. Always good to see you all. Yeah, do any of you all own this? Nobody owns this, right? What was the whole story with the F7I? Wasn't there something, or was that the M? That's the M, right? That only one person owned, right? What was the one that only like one guy got it? Who remembers this story? Does anybody remember? Or am I getting the story all screwed up?
I thought it was this one.
Was it this one? Was it the A? Who remembers the story? I know. F7A Mark I. It was this one. Okay, it was this one. All right, it was the A. Okay, all right.
Every now and then, somebody would take a shot of it, and it would come out to like a ship. You know, you'd have people gather around New Babbage over at the conference center, and you see a circle of ships, and every now and then the guy would bring it out, and people were like, "Oh."
Okay, so it says the Mark.
There was one.
Well, Citizen Ninja says the Mark II was the one that one guy got after winning something. Yeah, I know it is too many stories to keep track of and not to mention all the ships, right? Trying to keep track of all this stuff. So I've kind of gotten it all kind of crazy. Yeah, it's all crazy with me too, you know, trying to keep up with all of this stuff. All right. But this is another one. Now, this one right now is going for on the gray market about $700. Is that what they're at with that one now? Okay. No one got to guess. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. This is one I hated that I missed out on. I am so mad that I missed out on this one. The Anvil Valkyrie Liberator Edition. For those of you who remember this, when the Liberator came out, this was the one that they actually used in the demonstration when CIG showed it at CitizenCon. This was
the one with the white and gold.
No. This is it's that color there. That, if I'm not mistaken, it is that color. It's like a weird, like orangish, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like copper.
Yeah, Jade, you own one of these. I hate you.
Wait.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I didn't think, I thought was going to be around. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was going to be like, that was it. The only time it came out. There's two ships that I fell in that category for me. This is one of them that I hate that I missed it.
Jade said you trade it for your piano.
Nope.
I would like. I have to backtrack for a moment because
Yeah.
I just got the relevant information. So
Okay.
this is according to Star Citizen tools for the F7A Mark 1.
Okay.
In 2013, November 8th, during the promotion for United States Veterans Day, players were able to purchase the F7A Military Hornet Upgrade Mark 1, sometimes referred to as a CCU, for the F7A Hornet Mark 1. The upgrade was applied to the F7M Super Hornet Mark 1, which replaced the existing Super Hornet Mark 1 with the F7A Hornet Mark 1. The original cost of the original upgrade cost was $20. With 50% of the proceeds given to charity, Operation Supply Drop, and Honor Flight Network with the reception of the charity donation. So this is back in 2013. So that's yeah.
Okay, and that was for an upgrade.
I still think that there is one that was not an upgrade.
Right. It was the actual ship, right?
Yeah, it was the actual ship, and I can't remember how the dude got it. Somebody in chat was saying that it was Plate Dealer said one guy got it accidentally after winning something. I don't know if that's the case or not, but there were people, there were a few people that had the relatively rare upgrade, and then there was one guy who had the ship itself.
Right, exactly.
I can't remember the story, but that was definitely
one guy won it. Captain Jones said one guy won it. He said one guy won it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, this is the Liberator, and again, this is there's no difference in this particular ship other than the fact it has a very unique skin. And once again, I hated missing out on that. This one right now, the Liberator on the Empire is going for $1,799. Yeah, that's what that is for that one. Okay. All right, next up, fairly familiar, the Apoa Nox Q. I don't know how rare this is, and for one reason in particular. A lot of people bought Noxes back then, and I don't think they were too worried about I think people looked at them aesthetically. One was dark, one was light. The performances on them weren't that much different. I think this one moved just a little bit faster. But a lot of people bought stuff because they were tokens at the price of these bikes came out. They weren't thinking about it being a collector's item. Any of you all own the Nox Q? Or did own one and melted it or got rid of it or upgraded it?
It was part of the Praetorian package. So I had that, yeah.
Okay.
I've had it, and I probably upgraded it and melted it. I don't see it in my backpack. I don't see it in my So I've had it at some point. It's probably at the upgrade, but I probably upgraded away from it since then.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely had it for a certain point. I just love the look.
Okay, Meg, how about you? Any of the Nox?
Never had it.
Never had the Q. Okay, I had both. I bought both at one point, and I kept the Q. I melted or I got rid of the regular Nox, and I still have this one, and I only have one. But this is one of the ones that it was kind of a different one too. I don't have a special pricing on these. I'm not sure if they go for any special price because there were a lot of these. But I think more people bought them because of aesthetics, maybe. Maybe some people bought it because of the couple extra meters per second it probably could run. But I think there were a lot of these out in the universe. They weren't very rare, but we will talk about some ones that were rare. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the last Nox Q that I had was gifted to our friend Montoya because he won it as a Soul Citizen prize. So
okay.
Back in 2022. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at our next item. Now, here's the second ship that I missed out on, which really pains my heart. I missed out on that Liberator Valkyrie, and I had missed getting the carbon edition of the Mole. This one, as you guys remember, there were 3 variant colors of what they did. There's the typical orange that we see from Argo. But they also did what they called a carbon. It was like a charcoal black version of the mole as well, which turned out really nice. And they also did one called the Talus, which was a white version, a kind of like a pearly, ivoryish, not ivory, it's not ivory. It's not a bright white, but it's a white version of it as well. These were also limited when they came out. These right now, the carbon edition, right now.
You can still get it, Griff. You can still get it, Griff.
Yeah, I can still get it. Okay. The
You
carbon.
just gotta pay. You just gotta pay. You just gotta pay Legatus.
Yeah.
Legatus.
Yeah, that's not happening. The carbon edition of this goes for $949, and the Talus edition, the white one, goes for $999 now. And it's always interesting to see whether or not these will sell, but quite often, when those prices go up, someone does eventually buy them if they want them bad enough. Meg, what are your feelings about when CIG puts out something like this, right? You know what I mean? Like the orange is kind of like the color for Argo, right? Everybody sees orange. We know that's their thing. But when they make like a limited edition or something like that, I mean, do you think that's kind of a cool thing for them to do? Does it affect you as far as when you're looking to buy something like, man, they Argo's known for orange, but they put out that black or that white one? Or do you just kind of go with what the functionality is and you don't care what color it is? You can always put another skin on there later if you want.
Yeah, I try to not care because, I mean, I'm not spending that much money on something, and there are a lot of ships that not even these, but concierge paints that you miss out on. Yeah, I just try to not care and just get the ship in game. And sometimes they come out with better paints that I like Love Struck. They've added more Love Struck paints to the ship, so I just throw that on. And continue.
Love Struck's my favorite out of all the colors that are out there. I was so glad to see them expand it because I put it on my Scorpius because I was only had it on my Nomad and my Hover Quad. And I was like, man, I love this color. And I was so glad to see when they put it out, expanded it a little bit further. Serious, you don't own either of these, I'm assuming, or the moles, industrial?
No,
I
do not.
Okay, and we know Fastcart, Mr. Merchant Man, he's not, he ain't doing no work. He ain't doing no real work, so I know he doesn't have a mole or anything like that.
Work, just not this kind of work.
Yeah, not this kind of work. No, get your hands dirty work, right? All right, but yeah, this is, I hated that I missed the carbon, but it is what it is. I actually have not bought a mole because I keep hoping that maybe one day I'll be able to get it, but eventually I'm gonna have to break down because I do like the mole. All right, so we got the Talus and the carbon. Let's take a look at this next one. Oh, an old standby here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Consolidated Outland. This is one of the earlier corporate sponsorships that was done, and this was done with AMD. AMD put out a Mustang Omega that had a really amazing paint job on it, this red color for this particular vehicle. And I remember seeing this only once, and then years later, I think our Captain Jones, we went somewhere one day and Captain Jones flew up in this thing, and I honestly had to stop and do a walk around on this thing to see it, because to see it up close was really, really cool. It is a cool looking ship. It really, really is. And Fastcart, I know you've had a heart for this one a long time. You've been wanting this one for a while.
My story with this, I backed the game in 2014. I want to say I probably bought a 970 around that time, and but by the time I hit concierge, and I'm trying to expand my fleet, and red is my favorite color, black and red are both my favorite colors, so this had the best of both. And by the time it came around, it's like, okay, let me see how much I would have to pay for an AMD card to get one of these. By the time I made that decision, they stopped putting the code with the video card. So every now and then I ask around and say, someone have a Mustang Omega they want to get rid of, and like, nope, everything's on time. So
really,
it always breaks my heart when someone says, "Oh, I melted mine. Oh, I CCU'd mine." I'm like, oh man.
Serious, what about you? You ever have this one, or nah, was beyond your time?
Well, no, I never got it, but
okay.
I remember when we were looking at ships, and was it Captain Jones? Somebody pulled it out, and we got to walk around it. I like that the lore of it in game imagines that there is an AMD in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and that AMD is like a tuning company that works with Consolidated Outland,
Mm-hmm.
like AMG works with Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
And they even imagined that there was a underground artist that did the design. So yeah, I like all that lore around it. You know, but I missed out, and now, you know, it's too late because now the prices are absurdity. So
Wow. Meg, have you seen this one in game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't own one, do you?
No.
Oh, okay, you kind of grin. You're over there grinning. You're over there grinning. I'm like, wait, maybe she owns one. Shoot, you know, somebody might have gifted
like,
you one.
yeah, I see it
No,
in game. I see it in my hand every day.
I've seen, I think a couple years ago, somebody was telling me about it, and I actually found one that was pretty cheap,
Mm-hmm.
but it has 2 months insurance. I know some people don't care, but I was like, that's lame.
Woo, Fastcart would have bought it if it had 1 week insurance. I can tell you that. He
That's
wouldn't have
crazy.
cared. He wouldn't have cared. Yeah, it's
hard to go in now. It's hard to go in now with 2 months insurance. I get that. You look at that and go,
You want to hear a sad, not a sad story, but unhappy story, I would say. I want to say in 2015 or 2016, CIG during IAE actually had the CCU up for it, for the
Oh, wow.
Mustang Omega, and I missed cause it was up for like 20 minutes, and it took it down. So I had a slight window, but I was not up in time, so I missed my chance to get the CCU for it too.
Wow. Well, Meg, I hear what you said. Go ahead.
And since then, I'm always hoping to see us make that
Back
trip
up again. Well, Meg, I'm gonna tell you, it could have 2 months of insurance. All it won't. This would be a museum piece. It wouldn't get flown anywhere anyway. Just stay in the hangar all the time for me.
Yeah.
So if I can get one. But by the way, the price for this right now on the market is $849.
Too much for me.
Yeah. So how much did this go for when it came out? Because it was like what, $50 maybe?
$50. 50.
That's so funny.
$50.
It's $50.
And I'm so upset. It was $50.
Oh God.
No. Some of them were even cheaper. Some of them were $20, and people couldn't get rid of them. Couldn't even get rid of them.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, Grim, good to see you. About to go live, but wanted to stop by and tell everyone hello to you. And he's saying hello to
Grim.
Meg. Oh, and says, Meg, you won the CIG contest. What contest was this?
Oh yeah, congratulations.
On Twitter.
What?
It was like every 48 hours they post a picture of somebody in a random spot, and if you were supposed to go take a selfie in that spot.
Right.
And I took a selfie in the exact spot at the exact time. Like I got the shadows and everything right.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I didn't see it. Congratulations. That is so cool.
I'm looking it up now.
Oh my God.
Here it is.
That is amazing. Okay.
This is the type of stuff I expect from Meg. It's just excellence.
Yeah, she didn't say nothing.
So,
yeah, she didn't say nothing. Oh, I just did this little thing. It's no big deal. Yeah, I know.
Right.
Over here, win, no matter what. You know what I mean?
All right. Okay, let's take a look at this next thing here. This one, don't know if any of you all have this one. This is once again coming from Consolidated Outland, the Alpha, and this is the Vindicator. I actually do own this one, $29.48. And I can tell you exactly how much this cost, 30 freaking bucks back in the day. And it has a very interesting logo pattern on it. It says citizenship, I think, on the side of it, that little circle you see on the wing there. It's got all types of words and stuff on it. But yeah, this is the Vindicator, and nothing special about it from my understanding of what I remember about it, other than the fact it just has a really cool paint job, and it was based around $29.48. CIG would kind of do this, what they did at that time, just kind of celebrating. I can't remember what it was in particular in the lore. Do you remember, Sirius, what the lore was about this particular ship? Because I don't.
No.
I know you do. I know you're looking.
This out.
Yeah.
You pulled this out in the hangar when we were looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember that some people could see the decals and stuff on it, and some people couldn't.
Right.
So it was one of those older ships that they still like needed to update
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Yep.
But I can't remember the lore.
No worry. FC, have you seen this ship before?
I've seen it. I'm looking it up right now. I can't find it, but I didn't get this one.
Okay. Meg, how about you? You seen this one?
I have not. That looks really cool, actually.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
I like
Yeah, I
that
had
theme.
not seen it until you pulled it out. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not common at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Like I said, this was like $30, so I remember how much this one cost for sure. All right.
Hold on. I got the lowest at the limited edition Vindicator single seat, developed by Consolidated Outland. This model celebrates CitizenCon 2948 event, and by the adventurous spirit that defines the original vision of Silas Corner. So this is CitizenCon 2018 model.
Okay. So it's a lore celebration then. Okay. Cool. All right. Here's one that's familiar. A lot of people used to chase after this forever. I don't know. Maybe someone in chat can tell us what the new thing is about this one, but it's the infamous pirate caterpillar. Back in the day, you would have to go into Arena Commander, correct me if I'm wrong, and you could do, was it Vandal Swarm? If you maxed it, or was it Pirate Swarm? Pirate Swarm. And I think if you got to the top level, is that right, Meg? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
You would get this. Did you get the skin or did you get a coupon for the skin? What was it? How did that work?
You got the opportunity to buy it.
Oh.
Same with the Pirate Gladius.
Oh, so you just got the opportunity to spend some more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, why did that surprise you, Griff? Why did that surprise you?
That's funny. Okay, GoMob says it would unlock it in the store with 6 months of insurance. Okay, and it's in the pirates.
If you bought it, if you buy it and you melt it, you can't win it again. It stays in your buybacks. That is the Pirate Gladius for you.
Oh, really?
Buybacks. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a Pirate Gladius in my buybacks. I don't know about the Pirate Caterpillar though.
Oh, okay. So if you want a caterpillar, it's better to go out there and do that. If you want the pirate one, then get it after that. The price is still the same, I'm assuming. You just have to beat Pirate Swarm. Okay. Interesting. Well, I know for a long time this was one of the ones that people really wanted to get. You'll see these pop up every once in a while. Somebody will fly one out there, you know. Okay.
Oh boy.
It's got that skull on it.
Yeah. Okay. Heartbreaker. DK Wildcat, thank you so much for that resub. 3 solid years. 37 months. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And a 32-month streak.
Yeah, that's awesome. Boy, let's talk about this one. I'm gonna go to Meg on this one first. Because Meg wasn't around when this came out, I don't think. So, Meg, tell me what you heard about this particular one, or were you around when this? You weren't around when this came out, right?
I wasn't around.
Okay.
All I heard was it was for sale, and then, like, legally they had to take it down or something. But that's all I know. Super rare, super rare.
Yeah. Serious? How about you? What do you remember about the Space Kitty?
Not much. I wasn't into it. When I saw it, I felt like it was Hello Kitty, and that wasn't my thing. So I
agree. I agree. I was not feeling this when this came out. I was having problems. I'm so mad at myself now, but I was not feeling this when this came out back in the day. MC, what about
if
you?
I remember correctly, it was if I remember correctly, it was for referrals, wasn't it? That's how you got it.
You could buy it.
No, I don't think so.
You could buy it back when it first came out.
Yeah, you buy it. Yeah, not referral, not this one.
Okay.
But for me, yeah, it was like,
Jade, you don't have it?
I thought it was cute.
I thought Jade would have had this. Oh my goodness.
No, Jade was the one who still wants it. This is Jade's white whale. This is like for you with piano. This is for her thing. But yeah, I was around when this came out. I was like, oh, this is cute, and I'm like, how is that going to get in trouble?
Oh, they said it was. They said it was referrals only. They said it was referrals only. I thought you could buy this for some reason. I would have said, why do you think this was on the store? Okay.
No, this was a referral contest.
It was referral only. A lot of people would have just bought
2018, 2017.
So when you guys say referrals only, are we it wasn't a part of the referral tree, so how would you get it? How did you get it?
I have it.
There's a specific referral contest.
Okay. Okay.
2017, the Dragonfly Star Kitten is a special edition of the Dragonfly Black. It was obtainable as referral reward in 2017 referral contest. It's a 2-person grab their bike first by Drake and Planetary. Yeah, that's it. It's a referral contest.
Man, it was in limited time. Captain Jones says, "Wow." I don't know why I thought this was something you could buy. I mean,
Oh, you buy it.
No,
Yeah,
what
me
what
too.
I thought I remember was that thought I saw it in the store. That's why I'm thinking. And for some reason, in my head, I thought it was on the list of things you could buy. Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm guessing people will buy themselves another account and just get the referral to get their ship.
Jay said she. Jay said she missed about one
referral.
by one
Damn.
referral. Yeah, that's rough. Hey, Jay, don't feel bad. After all these years, I think I only have like 4 referrals on my account, maybe 6 at the most. I'm nowhere
6.
near.
I have 6.
Fast cart's beating me. After all this time, you would think I would have like 20, 50 referrals. I got 6 referrals.
Well, you know why I'm beating you? Because I bought my own referral one time.
I hear you. I'm terrible with mine. Goldmob says he's got 3, and 2 of them are his alts. I know 2 of mine are my alts. So I know what you mean. But yeah, this is a very unique bike. I have only seen this in the verse one time. One time after all these years. I've only seen it once. And I bet you whoever's got it probably hides these bad fellas. They probably want to take them out. Have you seen it, Meg? Have you seen it anywhere in the verse before?
Never.
No? Serious?
Nope.
Wow. That means this is ultra rare. Price for these right now?
Ooh.
Nothing. Because I don't have a price. That's why. Because you can't give it to
okay.
anybody. It looks like you can't give it to anybody, so you can't sell them.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's no price for them. Okay. Yeah, some of these there's no price tag for.
Oh, but if there was a price, it'd be high.
Yeah, people would. Yeah, I mean, listen. Not to be funny, but they just put out that what is it called? The
suit, the fight suit.
the Star Kitten racing suit. Boy, you'd look really good on that bad fella with that thing. I can tell you that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, mixes. Yep, they go together.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You can get one of these
Mm-hmm.
on the gray market, but you have to buy an
account. You got to buy a whole account to get it. Right. That's the only way to get it.
No,
You got to buy the account.
No, thank you.
They want $10,000, $5,000, $10,000.
$5,000 to $7,500 right now.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. All right. And here we go. Boom. I can tell you exactly how much this one costs. $25,000. I can tell you exactly how much this one costs.
You gotta put your pinky next to your side lip when it's
yeah, so this one, as you guys know, is the 600i Executive. And this is a reward that comes with the Navius, what is it called? Navum, the Legatus Navium. Legatus Navium. And for those people who reach the donation amount of $25,000, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is where I agree with Meg. This is when you drop that much money into a game. This is just not it. It's a lot. There's also some other things that I wish they would do with ships like this when they do things like this, and I wish they actually did this at the different tiers. I know they did it with the F8, but it would have been cool if they did something like that and expanded it a little bit further. But, things change over the years. I really wish, just like in the F8, one thing, and for those of you who own the F8 Executive, one of the things that's actually cool about that ship is that the interior is different inside as well as the exterior. If I'm remembering correctly.
They said that's coming. They said that's coming for this ship.
I hope it is. I hope it is, because it needs to be distinctively different. To me,
$25,000, yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I want a different interior. I want a different interior. I want it to look unique. I don't want it to look like the other 600i's personally. But
your jet trail should be gold.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
With sparkles.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
With unicorns flying out.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, when you buy a boutique PC, right, from a PC custom developer now, they will create little things where they put your name in it. Yeah. You can get these custom paint. So, and that's $3,000 to $5,000, $25,000. You ought to be able to modularly customize the interior. Right? Yeah. There should be like 16 different ways you could lay it out for an executive. Something like that.
Yeah. It's a pretty ship on the exterior. Even if there were options for different ones, because one of the things that people like is uniqueness, you know. And don't get me wrong, you don't see these floating around in the verse too much. How many times have you all seen this particular one? Anybody seen this one out in the verse?
I think I've seen it once or
I
twice.
just saw it recently.
Yeah.
I just saw it this weekend.
You did? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've seen it a few times. I was actually Colossal had one once. I think we were doing testing and got a chance to see it. That was one of the first times I got to go on it and everything. But yeah, that's it. 600i. Again, this is another one that comes from once you've reached a certain amount of donation. And that one's for $25K.
He says, I want a Space Kitty Idris for spending $25,000.
Space Kitty Idris. All right. We're getting near the end here. This is a ship that people have seen before, maybe in their inventory. Maybe. The Vandal Scythe. There are 3 ships which we're going to talk about, and I can talk about this. There was a package, but 3 of the Vandal ships that have been available for many years, or for in the earlier years, were the Vandal Glaive, the Vandal Blade, and the Vandal Scythe. And as you guys know the lore about the Vandal, they're really into the whole thing with knives and blades and things. The Scythe, which for many of you, maybe even in your inventory, if you haven't flown it before, you can take it out and fly. But this is not something that we can purchase now. And right now in the gray market, this goes for $4,499. For people who are maybe those collectors of ship like this.
To be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, my only concern about ships like this.
Misunderstood.
Yeah. My concern about a ship like this is that CIG is doing a rework on the Vandal ships. And my question is, when they do that rework, will this ship remain or will it go to the new model? And if it goes to the new model, somebody paid $4,000 for something that was going to become like everything else. I don't know if that's what's going to happen with that. Also, this ship is actually, if you notice, it doesn't say Isperia Scythe. It says Vandal. It is the only Vandal ship. The blade and the glaive are made by Isperia. They are replicas. This ship is the Vandal. And that does make it distinctively different, and probably why some people are willing to pay some crazy money for it. Meg, have you seen it or flown it?
Both.
Oh, really? Were you impressed or no?
Not really.
Did you know about the blade thing on the side? How it extends out to chop up ships?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Serious?
Listen, I have flown this. I didn't know I had it until I scrolled all the way down at the bottom of my, and I pulled it out, and I was like, whatever. I was not impressed. They have already remade it, by the way. The new design is already out.
Yeah, the new one.
The question is
I
whether...
thought Griffin was saying they're going to redesign it again. I'm like,
well, the Squadron 42 version, I think, is slightly different. It's unless I haven't seen the one that's in there now, but unless they did something recent, it's different from Squadron.
No, to your point, Griff, people don't have it.
Yeah.
We're able to see it active for Squadron 42. We know what it looks like for Squadron 42.
Yeah.
And it is an interesting question whether they'll get to keep the Mark 1 version of it. Yeah. Or upgrade to this other one. This other one looks much better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You may not want to have what everybody else has.
Yeah. Yeah, Gold Mob says it used to be OP. The Vandal, just so you guys will know, back in the day, especially the Glaive. The Glaive has those 2 size 5s on it. That thing used to waste people all the time. You know, don't underestimate these ships. They were pretty tough. FC, you ever seen this one or flown it?
I think I saw one in someone's hangar less than 6 months ago. We were doing people showing off different ships, and someone brought this out. So yeah, I was able to see it in game. Never flown one though. Yeah.
And Jade mentions about the fact that the ships have been converted for the use of humans. And it'll be really interesting to see what CIG does when they do release the other ships. There are a lot of people who have been asking that they keep these older ships in the game, similar to how you know, what they did with the Anvil ships with the Mark 1s and Mark 2s. Don't get rid of the Mark 1s, keep them in the game, just bring the Mark 2s in. There are some people who actually like these older designs on these ships and they want them to remain.
I wish they did that for the Mustang.
Yeah, I'm not sure though whether or not they're going to do that with this one. All right, this is our very last one, and this isn't a ship, but it is a pack. I don't know if you all remember this pack. Do you all remember this? The Unholy Trinity pack?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of 3 Vandal ships.
Yeah. It was the 3
When was this
Vandal
out?
ships. I don't remember the year. You might have to Google it real quick. But there was the Unholy Trinity. At least I think it was a pack. And it was the 3 Vandal. I think it was. Maybe I got some bad information again. I don't know. I told you it was 2 a.m. But take a look real quick, fast card, and see, is there an Unholy Trinity pack? If not, Griff is wrong. That's twice in one show. I'm retiring after tonight. Let's see.
Don't be tired.
Well,
Let's
it's
see.
listed that way. It's listed that way in the gray market. I don't know if there's an original listing for that. That's
Let's
all.
see.
It's definitely listed like that on the gray market.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you got to watch it because these citizens will put out some stuff that looks kind of serious. No, it says here, Star Citizen offers its players the chance to upgrade to the virtual spacecraft through a feature known as the cross chassis, blah, 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 blah. It includes the Scythe, the LTI Asperia, original concept LTI. But I don't know if that's something that they put together or is it something that CIG put together. It doesn't look like it's not a CIG. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's something. What it is erase that, y'all. What that is, wow. Okay, so what that is somebody put together those 3 ships and they're all LTI and they're selling them as a package. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So erase that. That's unofficial. Unofficial. Okay.
That sounds good though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can imagine how much it would cost too. But actually, it is a cool idea.
No,
well, CIG did
when
do.
I saw
They
it,
did
I
do
thought-
alien packages at one point, didn't they? Do alien packages at one
Alien,
point?
but they didn't call it Unholy Trinity.
No. I'm
They
just
did the
saying.
Alien package.
Right, they did do alien packages before, though. Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there was there a Van Duel package like that though? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think there was. It's too bad because there
I
should have
don't
been
believe
one.
so.
Yeah, there should have been. Sucks. Okay. Alrighty. Let's hit this last subject here. You guys may be wondering, why are we going through all this stuff and why are we talking about all this stuff? Well, there is some method to the madness. And the method to the madness has to do with, we talked about these things from the aspect of decorating your hangar, your hab, your ship with these items. But there was something that was introduced this year to the game where many of these items that we talked about today, you can see them now. And that is at Wickelow's Emporium. And so I want to kind of put this out to the panel. I'm going to start with Meg, then Sirius, then Fastcart. First of all, I know you guys have, most of you have, I'm not sure if you have Fastcart, have gone to Wickelow's. But do you think that these items are now going to be where before people paid money or paid UEC to get these items, that now that you see that Wickelow doesn't deal with money per se, but trading is important, whether it be through scripts or items? Do you think that's going to be the way that these kind of items can go out to other players that maybe weren't around back in the day and they can maybe get their hands on some of this stuff? Meg, I'll go to you first.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What was your impression when you walked around in Wickelow's and you saw? Because I'm sure you saw some of the stuff we talked about today. You can see over there.
I thought it was a really cool layout. Gave me ideas for maybe what my hangar could look like someday. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know existed. There's a lot of stuff that I thought you couldn't. Stuff that existed, but I thought you couldn't place in places. So it was just nice to see it out there.
Yeah.
And then I was definitely hopeful that maybe those would be things that we could redeem from Wickelow, and gives me hope that stuff like that is on the way, not just with Wickelow, but maybe with the UEE or like Kovalex, like the distribution centers, just unlocking reputation, which then unlocks the ability to get access to some other things.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that because I love playing games and not buying games. So I really, really want to get to a point where I'm playing the frick out of a game to truly grind,
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Serious, the description here says Wickelow's Emporium is a chain of shops, trading sites, locations that are held by Wicklow. There are 3 emporiums in different areas of Stanton: the Kinga Station, the Silo Station, and the Dassey Station. Wicklow never pays the players any money, as he has tons of things in his warehouse, and he would rather give instead, ranging from armor pieces, skins, weapons, all the way to spaceships. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think this is kind of that step into that trade, or moves beyond UEC? And I know that we just introduced scripts into the game. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way for CIG to take a look. There'll be some things that I think will be A-level rarity that they won't come back to,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I don't imagine they'll come back to the Star Kitten because they're the Dragonfly, because they may come back with like a variant of it, the same way that they didn't come back to the Saber Raven, but they came back with all these other sabers, right? They'll probably do something like that, but because there is something that tells the story of the longevity of the investment of the backers in the game by leaving that there, right? But for other stuff that has different levels of rarity that they treat as like come and go, ebb and flow, or for things that help them to test certain things or to allow us to move the story in a certain way. Wicklow is a great engine for that. And to Meg's point, it's a gaming engine for that, right? It's not just sit on the website at the store and buy something. It is go and play the game. And in fact, a lot of Wicklow stuff really means you got to go play with others, right? You got to send somebody else over here for all this other stuff while you go over here for all this other stuff. And then you can come together and get something, right? You see, there's maybe 5 publicly announced Wicklow Polaris is in the game. Yeah. Because it takes a lot of people to get that Polaris, right? You got a lot of stuff you got to do, and so I like that. And that there's a range of stuff for the solo player that maybe just wants to go to Wicklow and get a gun versus the group of players that want to go there and get a Polaris. There's a lot of different stuff to do. It's not perfect yet. But I think it's the right direction to gamify stuff and to Meg's point, not purchaseify stuff, right? You want it to be, you want to play the game. And some people will see it as grind. Other people will see it as this is what it takes to be in relationship with the Banu. Now, the best case scenario for them would be to have another level of it, right? Where you gain rep with Wicklow and then you get more interesting stuff, right? That's less grind and more lore. Right. So that would be very cool too. So, I like the direction of it.
Okay. And on that point, fastcart, I'm going to ask you, you've been to the Emporium? Have you been over there yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. But you do want to do some form of trade with a Banu merchantman. Are you interested in a similar type of thing, like where it's not about necessarily money or UEC, but if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I see you've got this armor, but I've got this artifact, would that be something for gameplay for you that you would be interested in? Said you would trade items like that, rare items or something that's found someplace else? Or would you just be strictly like, give me the cash and that's it?
It depends on the item. If it's something that I would want, you have something that interests me, sure. Like if someone comes and say, add this in-game Mustang Omega, I'm willing to trade for you. Yeah. Sure. Hey, let's trade. But as far as Wicklow goes, if I hear that someone got a Mustang Omega from Wicklow, this will become my new gacha game, because I play gacha games on my mobile device all the time. I would grind, I would do all that just to get a Mustang Omega. That's me though, because I don't mind that sort of game style. I will probably wait until 1.0 when I know there's not going to be a reset. But yeah, I'll definitely interested in doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, whether Wicklow is just an example of here's how we deal with the Banu, or whether that type of trading also spreads to us as players, right? Yes. You've got a certain rifle, you've got a set of armor, right? And that's our trade, right? It's not about money. There's some people like Jade and some other folks out here who don't want to have anything to do with the UEE, so the question becomes what's valuable to them, right? Maybe UEC is not going to mean anything to them, but maybe there's something else that's more meaningful to them and other people in the game too. I would love to see that the economics of this game go beyond, you know, some type of monetary trade, but that whether it's resources or items, you know, artifacts. I don't know. What are you gonna say, Meg?
I was gonna say it's definitely already happening. Like I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how aware y'all are of. I think it really started blowing up in the with the introduction of contested zones. But
Yeah.
even like the Star Citizen official Discord, there's a market in trading, and it's always busy. I have a friend who has traded for a lot of great stuff, money as well. But there's also like other websites where you can trade with people, and it's actually really cool. I feel like it's definitely booming, and I'd like to see that boom some more.
That's cool.
I would
Yeah.
I would be interested in doing a subscriber Flair exchange with some people. Like I have free giftable subscriber Flair that I had accumulated over the years. I just had because I had 2 copies of them because I'm importer, and I'll be interested in like getting a Flair that it's available on the store, but I can just exchange with someone else who has an extra copy too, and we'll both come out happy.
Well, that's a good place for you to start for a ship like the Merchantman, where you can display items, right? And people can come there and see something. And if it's your extras, that gives you a platform to be able to do that type of trading, which would be really cool too, you know? So, okay. Well, that's it. We have hit it.
I do want to say we missed one important rare Flair that we have not talked about. And that is the handlebar. That is the ultimate rare Flair. It'll never come back again. It came out in 20. I'm looking at my 27th. No, when is that?
I don't even know. I was going to say, I don't know if some people, that piece of whatever that was, I don't know. That was
2021. 2021.
That was a rare JPEG is what that was. That wasn't even Flair. So, you know. But anyway, okay, well, listen, thank you all, especially for all the stuff you guys shared in chat. As always, you guys shared a lot of great information and helping us out with covering this, because we are talking about over a decade of items that have been placed into this Star Citizen universe. And hopefully there were some things you learned and some things that maybe you've heard about and seen. And we're going to see where all this goes when it comes down to these type of items, whether they be cosmetic, functional, or just pretty things to look at that CIG is producing. And I'm looking forward to after looking at the Emporium. Somebody's been swearing about, you know what, Meg, you know what people have been swearing about? Them 2 samurai swords in there. People have been like, what, them samurai?
Let's go. Let's go.
Give me them samurai swords. You know, that's what people have been talking about. We'll see. We'll see how far those things go. Real quick, let's just update everybody on things that have been going on. As you guys know, we're already a little bit over. We just want to remind you once again that we're going to be doing an event called Quantum Vegas, which is going to be on Saturday, July the 12th in Las Vegas, Nevada. For those of you who are able to attend, we're going to just show you a very quick promo video for it, and then we're going to wrap up today's show. So here we go.
Citizens of the Verse, get ready. This summer, the Ultimate Star Citizen community event lands in Las Vegas.
Join me Saturday, July 12th at Area 15 in Las Vegas, Nevada for an unforgettable day celebrating Star Citizen and the incredible community that makes it all possible.
Panels, special guests, giveaways, and more. There's even a bar citizen the night before.
This is the Star Citizen event you don't want to miss.
Seating is limited and tickets are on sale now, but they won't last, so secure yours before they're all gone.
For tickets and information, visit quantumvegas.space and follow our social media on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Quantum Vegas 2955. By the community, for the community.
Alrighty. So Quantum Vegas, we're going to be there. Fastcart's going to be there. Sirius is going to be there. Meg is going to be there. I'm going to be there. A bunch of us are going to be there. As you saw, Grim's going to be there. It's going to be a great time. CIG has been so cool, and we just confirmed that we're going to have really big giveaways. I think we've got like a bunch of giveaways on Friday. There's a Bar Citizen at Friday night. If you are local or in the area, you can come to that Bar Citizen. It is free. It's going to be at Area 15 at the same location. That next day, we've got a 9-hour event. It's going to be a full day. We have over 30 giveaways. know, about 40 giveaway items that we're doing. CIG's giving us like over 30 giveaway items. It is going to be an amazing time. And so we are really excited about this event that's going to be coming up. So by the end of this month, get your tickets. Try to get your tickets before the end of the month. If you're thinking about this, because ticket prices are going to go up again. We started out with the inaugural price. We're at the early bird price now, but the registration price is going to be coming in after that. We are going to have such a great time for you guys to join us for that weekend. Sean Tracy, the Poets, Tyler, Galactica, Natronics, Kim Ellis, Nick at Night, a whole bunch of folks going to be there helping us do this show. It's going to be really great. Starjump Grimm. Yeah, so definitely check it out. Check it out. Okay, other than that, we are going to wrap things up here. Serious, tell everybody what we got coming up next week. Drop it on him.
Oh, next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You know what it is. Invictus launch week. We're going to cover it like we do, right? It's already popped off, right? We are in RSI day, but by that time, we will have seen the Guardian MX. I will know whether I want to own it or not. We'll talk about all the new ships. We'll talk about whatever CIG's been talking about. We'll talk about the way that the new presentation of Invictus, how it feels. We'll get into everything, and we want you here with us. So to let us know how you feel. So we're excited to talk about Invictus launch week Sunday next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here. Same bat time, same Soul Citizens channel. So.
And since you covered that so well, you might as well keep talking about the rest of what's on the screen.
Yeah, so this Griff's putting this on me because I told him initially it was going to be in May, and now you see it coming in June, right? So we're moving Laura Lighthouse to June because I'm not ready, but we want to get ready. And this is our new show where we're going to take a look at Star Citizen lore in Soul Citizen style. Right. And so we're building out the shows now. I've just got to find more time to finish that. And so we're pushing it back a month, but that's coming in June. And as we get closer to that, we'll start talking about dates and times where it makes a lot of sense. I got Pesos. No, you're okay. You're still here. You're still here. You're still part of the game. You're still part of the community. We're just talking about next week. And coming in June. So really excited about that, developing that show with the executive producers, bouncing pitch decks off of them and iterating on that and trying to make it, at the quality that Griff and Fastcart have delivered to you all for 5 years now. So that's my focus.
Now what I delivered? Okay. I appreciate that. No, I just want to say, Soul Stations is also, I don't want to say making our inaugural debut because we already did that this past Thursday, but yeah, talk about Thursdays and probably maybe on Friday. Come check out Soul Stations. We're not streaming it, but we will be on Discord where we do certain things in the Star Citizen universe. We could probably check out that week's ISC or SCL. That might be on Friday, but on Thursday we'd probably do things in game or like hanging out in Invictus and stuff like that. So
no, we're going to do this. That's going to be Thursdays. I mean, it's going to be on Friday nights, Fridays instead of Thursdays. We only did it this week because Invictus started on Thursday, but it'll be Friday nights. Okay.
It'll be Friday nights. Okay. So yeah, Friday nights we'll be doing Soul Station. So 9 p.m. Eastern. 1 a.m. UTC.
And when you come into our Discord, start checking the event channel. Okay, if there's something going on, we're going to make sure that we post it in there. That way you guys will know officially something's kicking off for that week. Some weeks we're just hanging out. Other weeks we will be doing just kind of hanging out activities in game. And our Soul Station is about the things that we do together in game. So be sure to check our events channel to know what's going to be popping off for that. Okay. All right. Thanks, Fastcart, for that reminder. Thank you, SeriousFun. yoyoMeg, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitch at yoyoMeg. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time, streaming Star Citizen.
And Invictus, right, for the next week. All during Invictus week. So you guys make sure you all check out Meg. We love supporting her.
Congratulations, Meg, for the winning.
Yes.
For winning that RSI.
Absolutely. What'd you win? Do you know?
I think it was an Avenger Titan and an MTC.
Ooh.
It was It was a kitty dragonfly, I thought.
Yeah, dragonfly. Yeah.
Oh boy, don't even
Sergeant
say it.
Dragonfly.
All right, don't even say it. All right. Well, once again, thank you to Meg. Thank you, Sirius. Thank you, FC. And thank you all for being here with us as always. We really appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And as always, until we see you later on, we're going to send you guys over to our good friend Star Jim Grimm, who was here earlier. We're going to send the love to him because he's having a good time right now in the Idris, loading up the Idris. You guys can go over, give him some love. Of course, we definitely recommend Star Jim Grimm. He's given so much to the Star Citizen community. Him and the Star Jump team are just some very cool people. So till next time, we will see you guys real soon. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as always, peace, love, and soul. We'll see you later. Ciao.